Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this video lesson, this very brief video lesson on the causes and effects of the Protestant Reformation. I am Miss Jennifer Blank, and I will be your guide on this journey. Let me step back here and allow you to take a little look at this. Now, I want you to pause the video and note these key ideas down, okay? And that'll make it easier when you take notes as I talk. All right, so Protestant Reformation, it was a very, very big deal, what I like to call a BFD. The PC term would be big freaking deal. But anyway, so let's talk about the causes first, right? We have humanism. There are three types. The number one type you want to think about when you're thinking about the Protestant Reformation is Christian humanism, okay? Let me write the three types. So we have secular. That's a big one. That one came out of Italy. Then we have civic and Christian. Okay, this is the type we really want to think about when we're thinking Protestant Reformation, okay? We have the 100 Years' War was another cause, the Black Death, scientific advances, and corruption in the church. Now, what you want to think about when you're thinking about causes is all of these things questioned the authority of the medieval church. It questioned the authority of the Catholic Church, which is what allowed people to jump to the idea of, let me actually question the doctrine of the Catholic Church. Because in various areas, we're questioning the authority, we're questioning the power, we're questioning the reliability, but none of these things directly questions doctrine, okay, the actual orthodox belief of the Catholic Church. That's what the Protestant Reformation does. It calls into direct question the church's understanding of God's word and God's will, okay? But that questioning would not have been possible had all these other things not come before it, questioning the church itself as an institution, okay? So these are the big picture ideas I want you to keep in mind when we're thinking why the Protestant Reformation happened, okay? Now, what happened because of the Protestant Reformation? All right, we have the Counter-Reformation, or as it's sometimes called, the Catholic Counter-Reformation. We'll learn more about all of these things in my PowerPoint. We have a fragmented Germany, all right? Charles V was a very young emperor. He was pretty weak. He didn't really quite know what he was doing, at least at first, although some would argue he never knew what he was doing, but that's a separate issue for another day. It fragmented, this Reformation fragmented what little centralization, very little, emphasis on little, centralization that Germany, or what we think of as the Holy Roman Empire, had, okay? It split Christendom. It split the Christian church, okay? Before, you just have Christian church. Now, because of the Protestant Reformation, you have Protestant and you have Roman Catholic. So there's just Roman Catholic over here, and then you have Protestantism, and then underneath the Protestantism, you have all these different denominations, which I'll talk about in my PowerPoint. Religious warfare, think 30 Years' War for religious warfare. Okay, so 30 Years' War, okay? Now, we also have an increase in secularism and individualism as well. This is further calling into question the authority of the church. Because remember, one of the defining characteristics of the Protestant Reformation was that individual Christians should learn to read so that they could read the Bible. And they should be interpreting for themselves. If you're just allowing the church to interpret for you, you are not doing your job as a Christian, okay? We also have this interesting thing called the Witch Craze, all right? I'm going to get into lots of detail about that in my PowerPoints and also in class. But basically, Europe went crazy and started tracking down all of these supposed witches. Now, keep in mind, many of these witches, the vast majority of them were women. They were widowed or never married. And in many cases, they had some sort of physical disability or physical impairment. All right. Basically, if you were an outsider, if people thought of you as somebody who didn't blend with the group, you were accused of witchcraft. All right. In addition to, if you were a reformer and were calling into question the church authorities, you were thought of as a heretic, therefore a witch, and you should be burned to death. So the witch craze is going to be a very big deal. And what's interesting is this concept of witch craze spreads to the New World, to the American colonies. But that's something you learn about in U.S. history with the Salem witch trials. But these are the big picture causes and effects of the Protestant Reformation. I will get into much more detail in class and in the PowerPoint, but I just wanted to give you a nice overview. So until next time, I hope you learned what you needed to, and I will see you in the next video.